Dark. Oh my God, Dark.
Classic Bashers is back.
Oh,
Everybody's like, "Where's the Sheen? Where is he?"
really?
Like, he'll be back. Yeah, they are big time. Like, he'll be back. Wednesdays will return. The return. It's not a comeback. It's a return.
People
Anybody know what
need.
movie that's from?
I don't know.
I
I
know
don't
you
know.
don't. I know you don't know because for some reason that movie you just won't watch. But see if anybody else knows. It's not a comeback. It's a return. They'll get it because they're brilliant. Surely there's a couple old queens in the house.
Why? What was it? Which film? Now I'm curious. Which film is it?
It's from one of the greatest films ever made, and I've mentioned this film a million times.
Okay.
Anybody get it? Nobody got it. Scotty H, Space Ace, Andrew, Travis, Ray, and Sam Led Consulting. By the way, Sam Led Consulting has a jingle. Sam Led Consulting, because it sounds like an infomercial you'd see when you're watching some shite in the middle of the night, and there's going to be a commercial for a drug or some law firm. Sam Led Consulting, 1-800-666-2521.
You're moving so fast for me right now. Like I'm so hungover.
I took a nap.
I'm just yeah. You can tell you've got energy, and I hear words. That's all I don't know what you're saying.
Words.
Words are coming at me very quickly.
I couldn't come up with the word cognizant last night. I was going, I wasn't. And I was like, what's the conjugate of that? Anyway, I wasn't aware.
What? You couldn't find the word.
I couldn't find the word cognizant.
Isn't it a funny thing? Because I used to always say with music, right, with musicians, like the best playing you'll ever do, you'll do at home in your bedroom, sitting on the bed, practicing guitar or whatever you're practicing, and you're absolutely at your top there in that moment. Then you get on stage. Because you don't practice on stage, unless you're doing it for 40 years or something. You get on stage, it's sweaty, it's warm, it's chaotic. You're maybe a little nervous, and you're not the player that you are at home, right? Right. Not quite the player. So I always say, like, cut your skill in half, or 60% of your skill will be seen by the audience. It's just the way of it.
And they won't notice it anyway. They'll think it's 120%.
Of course. But it's also true when you do these fucking live streams, you lose your vocabulary, and you can't remember anyone's name. You're trying to think of actors.
Daily life.
Right, okay.
Julia.
Because sometimes I watch back some of this stuff, and I'm like, why can't I remember the word? What's wrong with that moron? He can't remember the word. Talking about myself.
Yeah. Last week I was like, the girl, the big star in the world, Julia, the pretty woman, and Paul's like, Julia Roberts.
It's so bad. Why does that happen?
Couldn't remember her name. It's the names go first. That's what happens. The names go first. Like I used to joke before my beloved mother passed away. She had not dementia, but she had some brain issues because of some oxygen deprivation, and she thought my name was Raul, and everybody used to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I used to say, actually, it's it's kind of humorous. She just couldn't remember anybody's names. She remembered Carrie's name. I don't know why. I always remembered her name. Amazing. And my sister Pat, there were the two Pats. She was like the nice Pat and the mean Pat. The mean Pat was the one who made her do stuff, like you have to do this. I don't know.
Ray, Timmy told me that your new nickname is the Fly. Yeah, because I was the fly on the wall. Yeah, from that conversation last night. Oh. It's too long and convoluted to explain. Are you wearing the Milgauss? What are you wearing?
I'm wearing Milgauss tonight. I wore Speedy yesterday because it was Tuesday. Speedy Tuesday. I actually started with the Milgauss, and then I went, "What am I, crazy? It's Tuesday."
What do you think I'm wearing?
He's wearing a Panerai. I see it right now.
You think it's a Panerai? Don't
It's not a Panerai. Oh shit! It isn't. What? I mean, does that not look like a Panerai from afar?
It does. They're big fans of Panerai, honestly. That is the Zero West.
Oh wow.
DB1, the Dam Busters 1.
Oh wow.
It's a pretty watch. And my
That is
UV light is kind of out of reach. I won't be able to show you the lovely loom. Isn't it lovely? Big substantial watch, and it's on that lovely handmade leather strap made by Graham Collins.
beautiful strap. What's the size on that? Is that a 46?
44.
44. Looks good.
44. Yeah,
Look at
it
the
looks good on
pattern.
me, right?
To me,
It
who's the
came
first
with
person in the world?
it came with a green rubber strap.
Oh,
But they gave me one of
that's
these
much
straps
prettier.
for this nice vintage kind of, pilot's vibe,
I love it.
from World War II.
Nathaniel Hannon, first in the gate with the $4.99 super sticker. Thanks, Nathaniel.
Yeah, he came in last night, Nathaniel, into the chat.
Oh,
But by then it was very, very late for me. I was already a bottle of wine down and a couple of cigars, so I wasn't very coherent or eloquent or articulate.
and the names just wouldn't come.
And it's just, he's a pretty smart guy, so I don't want to be made a fool of, like sitting there and saying shit. So I was like, after 10 minutes, I was like,
Listen,
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
he's paid to be smart.
Yes. Isn't that a beautiful
We're
thing?
paid to be stupid.
It's so much more comfortable just being stupid.
It's just easier. There's no expectation whatsoever.
This tea, I have to shout out to my sister, my older sister Neve, in Dublin, who sent me loads of Lion's tea. I'd run out of the tea. She also sent me cheeses and chocolates and things like this, but the tea is the gold. So I'm just enjoying it.
Lion's Gold label is just proves that your sister is a woman of taste and style, and she's not drinking that Barry swill.
Well, she sent me Barry's and Lions, not knowing which one I'd like. And
Lions.
I went through the lines really quick, and then I had to kind of, out of necessity, go back to the Barry's.
And it's always such a letdown. The Barry's is always such a letdown. I always go, that's not me cup.
Renaissance Chambra, I'm a Barry's tea man.
It happens. Seems like the west of Ireland is the demo for, and you guys are Mayo people, even though you're Dubliners, your people come from the west. So
that's right.
Seems like the demographic is Dublin is Barry's, and the west is the Colchis are all the Lions folks.
The Colchis. Don't say that word. Ray's in the room, and people they don't like that word. That's
I know.
saying,
well, I mean,
yeah.
When you've been called it 1,000 times, you have to take that word back. Hear the insults. Take the word back. I'm going to turn Colchi into a positive, empowering thing. Colchi power. Here's the sad bit, though. I just did a bit of research, and it looks like Unilever bought Lions, which means technically that's an English company now.
As long as they don't change their beautiful formula, I don't have any problems.
No. Is it in a square bag or is it still in the triangle bag?
It's a square. There are two squares connected, and I just dropped the two in.
Yeah,
and
they did change that
thing
recently.
Of beauty. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of chats about that. He's a Barry's tea man, and then Mr. Badgas says, "Why isn't this working for me? Why is have I been taken off there it goes. Oh, rocking the haircut. Thanks, man, for my haircut. Thank you. Yeah, it was nice. Mike Lewis says that did you manage to post the quiche to Scotland? Says Conair Mick. I didn't. And I told him to email me, and he did not. And listen, there was no way I'm sending. I can't send. It's illegal for me to send food to. I wanted to make amends in another way, but if you're here or if you're around, come on down and we'll talk about it. And I'll just
send him a case. I'll send him a watch case or something.
Yeah.
And then something, non-perishable. Fucking quiche. You're making things hard for yourself. It's a beautiful idea. It's a very nice gesture.
Be from New Jersey, will you, or Connecticut?
Yeah, just be. Whoever wins, just be from the States. By the way, I'm starting. Finally, I'm going to start making interesting merch for the channel.
Oh,
Ocean O'Malley channel stuff. So
oh.
I'm going to be doing cases with Cased in Time with my
Mm.
logo on them. And if you guys aren't already familiar with Cased in Time, they make lovely little hard shell cases to stick your watch in for travel. And I'm going to be doing Ocean O'Malley channel ones. We've yet to decide which colors we're going to go for. And I've spoken today with Mono Zero. Mono Zero are going to do cigar ashtrays with my logo and the name and everything. Are you seeing
Wow.
those coming through on the screen?
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, aren't they nice? So like this one on the top is the cheaper one, and it's gonna have my face with the sunglasses, like the logo there
Sure.
in the center,
Yeah.
and it's gonna have my name either on the side or on the underside. And these are solid blocks of wood, just carved out. Really, really beautiful stuff. So, guys, watch out for those being released soon.
That's a
I don't know
great
how soon.
size travel pouch. Perfect.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
Put a
really
lot
good.
of different watches in there. It gives you the ability to travel with a few.
Yeah. Well, look, quite often we want one extra watch, right? So we've got the one on our wrist, and then we have the other. You know, so you just have all you need is one case, because if it's not in the case, it's on your wrist. You know, so you can swap. So it's very cool.
Those are very cool. When's that going to happen?
Yeah, it's in the works. It's in the works.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Yeah, I just want to let
To a
people.
bag near you.
Yeah, let people know about that stuff. They have other cases as well. I have one here. These flat ones as well. This one's mad orange.
I love
Great.
that one.
Yeah, these are quite strong. Yeah.
Orange and blue, the colors of New York State, the World's Fair, and the New York Mets.
Well, yeah, you would love these colors. Of course, I forgot about the Mets.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
It's not exactly Mets blue, but that's beautiful.
Isn't it nice? And then there's one that's blue on the outside and orange on the inside. You can see the thing from space. But they're great. So maybe we'll do Ocean O'Malley channel versions. When the channel was called the Timeless Watch channel, it had a much easier kind of logo. It was much easier to do TTWC and stuff like that.
I like your name better, because every time I looked at it, it just looked like the Time Warner cable channel.
Like he made this for me some time ago.
What?
Yeah, it's just for a background. He sent me 3 different sizes for backgrounds, like when you see the shot of the watch, or watches together. And this was back when it was called Look at the Timeless Watch.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And Ocean O'Malley's up at the top.
I mean, it's still AKA the Timeless Watch channel. I mean, everybody still knows that.
If you search for it, my channel comes up. Isn't that weird?
I mean, look, Carre says that all the merch should have an O shape, because Ocean O'Malley is dominated by that letter: ashtray, travel pouch.
Yeah,
cock ring.
Cock ring. Maybe I'll make a cock ring.
You're a randy bastard, dude. Cock ring.
It would probably sell.
There are ladies here.
So yeah, I mean, like in the center area of that's where you plunk your glass there of whiskey, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's gonna have the logo right in there. So it's gonna be cool. I don't know if this is gonna be the larger one. We may, change that, because this is like for holding a few different cigars. We might just make the same again with a spot for a glass of whiskey or something up the farther end. This will be more expensive, but it'll be really nice. I'm looking forward to it. Finally making some merch, and I'll do some t-shirts and things, maybe a mug. I'd love to do like a whiskey glass or a wine glass engraved. That would be nice. Right?
Isn't that more appropriate, don't you think?
I mean, as appropriate, because there's a lot of cigar smokers in my audience.
No,
I've made cigar smokers out of a lot of the watch people.
Yeah, I believe that's true. I just think having a engraved whiskey glass or a wine glass would be perfect as an accompaniment to that. Really
Yes.
great.
Yeah. I'll have to get on that. Of course, getting, crystal etched, laser etched is a very, very easy thing to do. Um, Someone mentioned that it's nice to see the DB1 on the wrist, Mr. Badgas. Yeah, isn't it cool? Murano glass. Yeah, maybe I'll do a Murano glass. That's a good idea. Andy
That's
Dufresne.
probably doable, right? You go over
Probably,
to
yeah.
Murano and chat up somebody, and you've been there a million times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I was chasing a girl years ago from Murano. Her father has a big store there, and I fucking fell head over heels for this girl, and I came over to. It was before I lived in Venice, and it was pre-doctor as well, and I came over to Venice a few times to try to chase that down, but it didn't happen. It didn't work. Damn it. It's the one that got away. But that would have been nice. Murano glass connection,
Where is she now?
I don't know. She must be 30 years old at this point.
Forget that. Too old, Leo.
Way too old. That's what Michaela said the other night. I'm like, I'm like, see, there goes the names Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not really. I'm not.
He's really filled out quite a bit. That when we were talking about it, you get older, you get thicker.
Round his head. His head is like a soccer ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's just got money. That's all. Because doesn't have that cute look anymore. Now they just want the money and the private jets. It's the private travel. That's got to be.
Is that what it is? Is he a drinker?
I don't know whether or not Leo's a drinker. I mean, he hasn't had any run-ins, or there's no gossip about him being naked on the beach, drunk as a skunk.
Right.
I mean,
he's just enjoying the good life.
He's such a big star. Have you seen that movie, the Scorsese flick?
I've been watching it.
Oh, there you go. I've been watching it.
Yeah, like a book.
Yeah,
I don't mind a long film. I don't mind
a long film if it doesn't feel. If I'm cutting it into multiple sections, then that's a bit of an issue. Then I'm not gripped enough.
Dude, when I finished The Godfather Part 2, I started again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like it was too long, even though that's like 3 hours and 20 minutes or something.
Is it?
Also, the Shortcuts. Remember that? The Robert Altman film? That was so great. And that was over 3 hours as well. I don't mind if it's a good movie and it keeps you gripped. It can be long. But no, I started watching it, then maybe I fell asleep, and then I continued some of it last night and early this morning. And I mean, it's okay. I guess it's being set up for the shocker. The shocking moment is coming. I can feel it, that they're setting up the scenario. And I feel like De Niro is going to wind up being actually secretly the bad guy behind the whole fucking thing,
Oh, boy. I don't know who any of the characters are. I know what the premise is all I know. So
yeah,
maybe I'll watch it tonight. I took a nap, so I'll be up late. So
yeah,
I don't know. Scorsese feels like he needs to make like an hour, 90-minute comedy, because he has made some great comedies.
Like what? Like King of Comedy?
No, like and here it goes with I can't remember the names of the movie. The one with Griffin Dunn and Rosanna Arquette, where he goes out and Mr. Softy Truck, Terry Garr, and Catherine O'Hara. It's a masterpiece.
Okay, you still can't remember the name of the film? You can remember all these names of these actors?
I can remember all. Come on, you guys know what it is. She's got the Mr. Softy Truck. Griffin Dunn is an office worker, and he goes out. He goes to a bar, and he takes the wrong keys. It turns out the girl, Rosanna Arquette's committed suicide, and her boyfriend is the bartender. And oh man, I'm gonna have to look it up. Sorry.
If only there were a machine somewhere near you.
I know.
Nathaniel Hannon, 199. Logo should be the sunglasses in here. It is. That's exactly what it is.
After Hours.
After Hours. Okay, fine.
Have you not seen that?
No. Mr. Bad Gas, upvote, kids. That's a great idea. Upvote, guys. Give us a thumbs up. 200
Please do.
watching.
We're very close to 2,000 on the iBashers channel. Let's push it over the limits tonight. We're very close. Very close. I set a goal to 10,000. Why not? Everybody else is doing it. Why can't we have 10,000? I said by the summer. Can we have 10,000 by the summer? But we're very, very close to 2,000. And that will really help us out, guys, if you just like and subscribe to the channel.
The iBashers channel is what he's talking about.
Because we go out on both on Wednesdays. But
yeah, you guys can flick over there if you want.
You know what that means. You know what that means.
Let me stick the link in the chat anyway.
Did you get the Daniel Katz super chat?
Let me get it now. Or you grab it while I'm doing this.
I'll grab it. Daniel Katz, Canadian, $6.99, Canada. There you go. Thank you. Dirk and Sheen mugs. Yeah, we could do that. Why not?
Yeah, we could do some iBashers stuff. Yeah, mugs and t-shirts. Yeah. It's a cooler name, iBashers, you know. There's the address, the link there, guys, for the iBashers channel.
I went and I got some Kimbo pods, you know, the Neapolitan brand of coffee, Kimbo. They just came out with Nespresso. I had one of those after my nap, and it was like I went down to the East Village and just snorted all the cocaine in the park.
It's really strong coffee.
Holy smokes, Aroni. I'm drinking. I have a big bottle of water here. I'm like, whoa, boy.
Wow.
Those Neapolitans.
I broke my French press, and I got some coffee also for Christmas from Lydia. She gave me some beautiful coffee from Husbrand, which is beautiful. It's very chocolatey. And I still have the Julius Manel stuff from Michaela. So this afternoon, when I finally got my ass out of bed, because it was such a late night, I actually made coffee in this, and then I just poured it through a sieve into the cup.
That'll work.
It was okay.
Yeah, you percolated. You percolated it. I just bought a French press because we were in IKEA on Thursday or Friday, and they had like a $6.99. You know, it's glass. It's not crap, and it was. I made with the Julius Mino. I made lovely French press coffee, and I said, you know, I can drink this. I'm usually an espresso guy. However, it was delicious. Delicious.
Is your new name Dirkowitz?
For my honorary Jewish status, it is. It's Dirkovitz. I like to say Dirkovitz though, if you don't mind.
Dirkowitz.
Bernstein, Levine.
See, Alan Dershowitz is the lawyer they hired to defend Israel against the South African.
Who else?
Indictment. I know. Can you believe it? Oh, who should we get? The guy who defended Trump, who defended Epstein. All these nasty characters. They're getting him to do the defending. It's absolutely insane. The guy's nuts.
Housebrand. Yeah, that's a good
one.
Rufus. $1.99. Thank you, Rufus. How are you, man? I haven't seen you in a couple of days. Good to see you.
There you go, Dirk
Burke. I'll take them all. We had a big conversation about the jealousy of Jews last night. You would have enjoyed the topic, why everybody's hated them throughout the history of time. And I said, it's because everyone's jealous because they're brilliant. Because they're brilliant. Because they know how to take something, turn it into a business, make money, be the bosses, be conglomerates. And you know who that pissed off? Hitler.
That pissed him off a little.
It made him really mad that, look, these Jews are so smart. I'm going to get them. That's why throughout time, because they know how to get together. It's like, remember that old line that Democrats fall in love and Republicans fall in line? There you go.
What was that line? I've never heard that one before.
It's a big one. It's a big one. When
Democrats fall in love
and Republicans fall in line.
Fall in line? Meaning what?
Meaning means Democrats romanticize about their candidates, and then the Republicans go vote for theirs.
Oh, I see.
So they band together. They make it happen, like Donald Trump. I mean,
Yeah,
no one would
Republicans are
have ever
more.
believed 20 years ago. Would anyone ever believe that
Yeah,
Donald Trump would ever be
no,
elected president of the United States? No, of course not.
no. Well, ever since an actor was ever president with Ronald Reagan, I suppose
Boy.
anything goes, anything's possible. But it's true that Republicans are more loyal and they band together, whereas Democrats bicker among
Yeah,
one
that's what they do.
another. Yeah, that's true.
100%.
Scotty H, $10 and is a channel member. You legend. I have a Venice live webcam playing on my TV. That's
I
very cool.
watched that
Yeah,
one too. From the
yeah.
American Hotel. Is that the one you watch? I watch that a lot because I just go.
The American Dissing, which is
Yeah.
in Dorsoduro. There's one on the piazza as well, looking down. I use them. You know why I use them? To see if there's aqua alta in certain areas.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not going through there because it's like there's 5 inches of water today. So it's a good way of checking.
Sean L.
$5. This is nice. I like this. This is making my Wednesday very, very cozy now. I feel like I'm not just chatting with me, mate. We're actually working for a living here. Cheers, gents. You guys talked about bass players, totally unrelated. That's okay. But look at Victor Wooten. He plays with Bella Fleck, sent to Ushin last week. That's funny that he thinks we don't know who Victor Wooten is.
We certainly do. And I have every Bella Fleck album ever made. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Bella Fleck and the Flecktones.
You know, the bass player that just never reached me for some reason was oh God, his name
was
Marcus Miller.
Oh, Marcus Miller. Well, okay. Listen, that's the beauty of art.
It never reached. He never reached me emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, my friend Mary Schwartz, I've spoken about her 1,000 times. She doesn't talk to me anymore because she was eyeballing this 40-year-old handsome guy and he didn't go her way. And I told her she was making a fool out of herself. Anyway, long story short, she owned a jazz club and she turns 90 this year, just to let you know how old she is. Okay. But she owns a jazz club.
She was 90 hitting on a 40-year-old?
She was 85 and she's hitting on, and he's a ride. I'm talking about this guy's built like a brick shit house, right? He's a contractor. Okay. Came up to do her bathroom, and she had kind of lured him up there under the auspice that she wanted to have her bathroom redone. And I guess she made a play for him, and it just went sour. But he was very kind about it. But she was angry, and then she came down to the bar and made a big kerfuffle, and I told her to calm down. Anyway, she has dated. Jesus. She dated Jim Hall, the legendary jazz guitar player, but she dated not Marcus Miller. Who's the big 5'10" bass player, the 6'10" bass player that plays Black
Stanley Clark?
No, not Stanley Clark, the other one. Oh Jesus, the names.
Charlie Mingus? I mean,
no. He's alive now, and he is a great. He's a great time player, but he's a really shitty solo player.
Well, you go search for it there, and I'll go do the because you can't remember any names tonight. Your names are disappearing, my friend. Jim Lassick, $5. Cheers, lads. Burgess Cab in the glass, and the Rhodium Yachty on the wrist. Man, what a beautiful watch that is.
Ron Carter,
Ron Carter,
the most recorded bass player in history.
Really?
Yep.
Hey. No, it's not McKay or what's her name from the. No,
I mean, you would think so. You would think Carol Kay. You would think it was her.
Carol Kay. Right. Upvote the bashers.
Do it. Thank you, Alain Gilbert. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Yes. Sam Led Consulting. Stanley Jordan is a guitar player. He's not a bass player.
He's not a bass player. Tony Levin is a bass player, though.
Tony Levin, yeah. I mean, he certainly is.
So what's going on with airplanes the past couple of weeks? Because we always talk about aviation. And because I missed last week's show on Wednesday, there were two incidences. One is a 737 MAX 9 or whatever it is. The bloody one of the windows popped out, or the emergency door popped off the bloody fuselage. Mm-hmm. Nearly sucked a kid out. His shirt was ripped off him, and his phone flew out. And his mom grabbed him and held him inside the plane.
Yeah.
And the other, of course, was it in Japan, where that plane just went on fire.
That was because the Japanese Coast Guard plane was en route to some of the relief. They were responders to the earthquakes, so they were
Oh,
bringing supplies and things, and uh, they were told to hold back on the runway until the A350 JAL airline landed, and they
yeah,
didn't. They went and they crossed into, you know how they have several different ways to get on the runway. They were like they were coming in. The JAL was cleared to land.
yeah.
100%. We heard all the tapes, cleared to land. And we also heard that they told them to stop at the line and wait until that plane landed. And he moved into the runway. So the A350 landed, hit the ground, and then immediately careened right into that Coast Guard plane. So that was an accident. It had nothing to do with any kind of equipment. The
Oh,
Boeing thing is a totally different story. That is,
why
if
don't they
every,
just retire the 737? Why
it's
are they
because
trying to
it's the
give
most,
it a boob job and a nose job? Like they've been doing that now for 15 years. It's a
they're
waste of
bringing
time.
back the 757. They're going to have the 757 MAX because apparently that single aisle jet is the new, the new du jour, because the A350 and the 747, those are all the A380. They're all going out of style with these big giant planes. They can't get certification on the 777X
Right.
because it's got a lot of weird things. This is the new 777 that's got foldable wings. In case
Oh,
you guys don't know, it's like
mhm.
a military aircraft, so it's got very, very long wingspan, but they fold up, and it's carbon fiber. It's got all the 787 and A350, components and technology, but it should have been certified and in service for the last 3 years, but it's still not certified. They're saying it won't get certified till next year.
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
looking
that's
plane
nice.
though.
Sure. Look at the wings on it. It's all about two engines, and these are giant GE 90s, and they have like 150,000 pounds of thrust. They're enormous plane. They're enormous engines. They are as big as a 707 fuselage. That's how big those engines are.
There's the fold. Is that coming up
Yeah.
on the screen? Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is. There, that is crazy.
Yeah. There's
Like,
videos where you can watch it retract. It's very cool.
and why would they do that? What is that for? So it can fit in a hangar, or so it can
It's
park in
for
different.
it's for fuel. The longer the wingspan, the better the avion, but all that stuff,
Oh,
it cuts through the air faster and better and cleaner, and it's all about money. It's all about money. And what is it about with Boeing right now? It's about money. So now we've got this
I
made
think
in
I
America
think
ship
that I think that budget flights, this need for cheap flights, has fucked up air travel
completely.
because airlines are cutting corners so they can get the cheapest flights. They're putting too many planes in the sky too often. The whole thing, like this is why Ryanair, like at Christmas time, like there was a Ryanair flight I could have taken out of here and gone to Dublin. I'm like, I'm not flying fucking. I'm protesting that fucking horrible airline. Can't
Well,
stand them.
because they're buses now, Airbus.
If
And
you
just
want to
that
fly,
name
if you want to
alone.
fly to a country and you only have $20 for the ticket, you shouldn't be flying to the country. Am I an asshole for saying that?
No, I don't think you are. I mean,
If you
listen,
have $20
everybody.
in your wallet, that's all you've got. You want to go to Brussels or you want to go to Paris. Should you really be going to or coming here to Venice? God damn it, with your backpack on
Like,
your Ryanair flight that you paid $10 for. Ugh. You're not going to be able to sit at any of the nice cafes or enjoy Venice in any real meaningful way. You'll just wander around with a cold pizza slice in your hand, and then the seagulls will steal it out of your hand, and it serves you fucking right. Sorry. Am I grumpy at all today? Shit. I just heard myself there from Jesus. Shut your mouth, O'Malley. That's horrible. I don't know. Do you agree? I
I
mean, do you
do.
agree
I
with
just
the
I
flight?
agree with all of that, and I think that deregulation, which was something that Jimmy Carter signed into, it was a big mistake, a very big mistake to deregulate the airlines years and years ago. That's why the European airlines aren't deregulated. That's why you can get on an Emirates flight in London and take it to New York, or Milan to New York, but you can't take Delta from Marseille to Los Angeles. You have to leave from an American place and go to an international place. And they made the pricing, the dynamic pricing, just the order of the day, and it's
Yeah.
just so cheap. And now you've got only two big players. We've got all these other Bombardier and other companies, but it's Boeing versus Airbus. And Boeing had the big 787 composite, the first composite airline. It was a monster smash. They sold 1 trillion of them. But then Airbus really came on strong. A350, A321, and they just kept spitting out hit
Have you
after
ever
hit.
been on the A380, the big monster?
I haven't, but Paul's been on it twice. And he
Was
said
there like a soccer pitch in there and shit and a swimming pool?
he was on Lufthansa, and it was when we were playing our gig over in
They
Germany.
ordered more of them than anyone. Lufthansa got straight in and bought all the first batch, didn't they? Yeah.
Well, Emirates was the big one in the beginning, and then all the UAE countries did. What Lufthansa has done is saved the Boeing 747 project, because they have 28 747-8s, the newest iteration of the 747 in service, and they have no plans on ever getting rid of them until they fall apart, because they just love it. They have a storied history. They were the second airline, the first international, the first non-American, Pan Am being the impetus for the whole project. But
The
the
guys
thing
are
is
giving me shit now. Link for flight snobbery. And Buckley is saying, "Oh, she hates poor people." Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't apologize. Hey, listen. What it is like
you romanticize about air travel, and I do too.
I just, yeah. I mean, and it gets my goat as well here in Venice. I've talked about this, and people give me shit. But if you're going around with a big backpack on you and so on, it's like, I don't know. It's making things uncomfortable for everyone around you. That kind of shit.
Backpacks should be banned from travel.
Well, they gotta take them. You have to take them off on the Bateo here on the public bus,
Good.
but they don't. But they don't. People don't read the sign, and they come on with their enormous 4-foot deep backpack, and they're swinging around looking at stuff, and they're whacking the thing into everyone, and it's just like, ugh.
That people don't realize, and I've said this before, so I'm not going to belabor the point. People who wear backpacks, it's not an attractive look. Let's do watch fashion.
You guys spoke about this. Like,
it's
they have
very
a nice suit on,
unattractive.
and then they have a colorful backpack.
Fuck
on.
you look terrible. And also, you have about 2.5 feet now behind you, so now you've just increased your depth by 2.5 feet. So when you do this or you do that, you don't realize that you just slammed that mother and child in the face or knocked the ice cream out of his
just
hand.
because they can't see it, it's like it's not there, but it's there, man. And it's a weapon, especially if you swing around real fast to look at something off the boat here.
I've been hit by many a backpack.
Yeah.
And I always say, lose the backpack, hippie. Because I just think it's such a hippie thing to wear. Get a beautiful valise. Go to Carl Friedrich. Go somewhere and get a beautiful bag. Doesn't everybody want a gorgeous rollaway? I have my little man bag that I use, but I also have a beautiful
They're giving
rollaway.
me shit. They're giving me more shit. Damn purrs, they ruin everything. Hey, I'm fucking poor too. Like, it's not like I'm a gazillionaire. I don't have a private plane or anything like that. I don't even own a car. So I don't know. I just, it's like going to Vegas with $5 in your pocket. Why do it? You won't be able to enjoy the town at all, Anyway, don't get me started.
Listen, I grew up, as a privileged airline, in an airline family. We dressed in suits. We went on trips for free. We always flew first class. So I have this romantic vision in my head about what air travel used to be, and it isn't that now. It's just a bus where people are horrible. By the way, Shay, everybody knows who my niece is, who comes along on all our trips. She lives in London. I don't get to put her on flights anymore. And that was part of our little, as Oisin's brother Emmett used to say all the time. He goes, that you love the game. Because I used to go, okay, we're gonna move you to the Rome flight, but I can't do that because we don't have privileges anymore. She gets on she's flying British Airways home to London after the holidays. And the flight is oversold. And she gets up to the counter and they handed her first row in business class, and they said, "We upgraded you because we oversold the flight. Thanks for being so patient." She got upgraded on BA, and she's live while I'm there. What do you mean? She goes, "I got 9K." I'm like, "Oh, that's the right side bulkhead on a 777, 300." Oh, it's amazing. And she's first of all, what a difference in airlines. Because listen, I flew American first, and that's okay. It's fine. It's nice. You got your private thing. BA was a whole other ball game, man.
No,
It was a
sure.
whole other ball game.
Yeah, it's a great airline. I mean,
Amazing.
they're.
The seat was
I love getting off of Heathrow and seeing just their fleet of 747-400s, just all parked right next to each other. It's a sight to see. It's
gone now. They retired them all.
Oh, they did.
Every single one of them. They did. They have A380s, which look like
Thank you,
porpoise.
Boston Collector.
Boston Collector.
Does everyone have a little jingle now?
Yeah,
You're making
I
jingles,
make jingles
for
for everybody. I kind of do, yeah. Kieran Kelly, guitarist, has one too.
What's that one go like?
A Kieran Kelly, guitarist.
I love it.
Hard cymbals and mute. Kieran Kelly, guitarist.
You're right, Travis Watts. TPG loved his LV backpacks. You're so right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go around with all the watches in that backpack. Yeah.
Everybody else's watches.
Everyone else's watches, as it happened. Yeah. As it turns out. Man, oh man, the more I learn about that guy. Whew,
yeah, he's a dick.
It's just insane. Now there are rumors that he had some young fella, some protege, but the kid was 14 or something, and he had him like sleeping in the same hotel rooms and stuff.
Oh,
so they're implying there's some sort of
he's a kitty diddler.
Oh God!
Don't do that.
Who knows if he is? I mean, that's a very, very heavy indictment to make. People talk about.
Where are his parents? Is he a runaway?
Who TPG?
The 14-year-old kid.
I don't know the whole story. I've been hearing rumblings. Oh, there are rumblings, are there?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like, oh my God. At this point, he's they're eventually going to tie him to Hitler somehow in this family. Like at this point, they're just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks, I think. But Hunter's Angler, the Boeing Trip 777 moved like 1 trillion people around the world before ever suffering a hull loss.
Yeah.
And it was to do a missile in Ukraine. What did you?
I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I know that the safety record on the 777 was impeccable for a while. British Airways had a hull loss when it a couple of years ago they hit the runway hard, they blew a tire and they skidded and it went on fire. So I don't know if there's any fatal losses on 777s. Wait a second, that was the Air France, the one that came from Buenos Aires. Was that a 777? I don't think so. I think it was an A330. Andrew Wilkowicz, $10. What's up, kid? Morning coffee, upvote, subscribe.
Jesus, here we go with the bell. I have a hangover, man.
That's why I'm doing it really light. I have a brush. Look,
I'm
using a brush.
Oh, that's very nice, very artsy of you. You could do a little shuffle, like a snare drum brush shuffle.
I'm trying to do it.
Oshi, what's your perfect 3-watch collection? The Rolex Sub, no date. The Omega Speedmaster of any type. It doesn't really matter. Preferably an old one, but if you can't get your hands on one in good condition, I understand. And then the Patek Philippe Calatrava.
Oh,
in rose gold with moon phase.
Wow, that's very fancy. I'd go Speedmaster
or the Royal Oak, I should say AP, because I'm such an AP whore now. The Royal Oak, the classic Royal Oak. What's yours, man?
Milgauss, Speedmaster, and Reverso.
So you're just missing a Reverso. That's what we got to get you next. Oh yeah, I was about to ask about Malaysia.
Yeah, that was I think that was an A330. Am I wrong, or is that a 777? I will look it up right now.
I thought it was a 767, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's those.
No. Adrian Cox says it was a 777.
Oh, was it? Okay, it might have been. Yeah, that went down because of the clogged pitot tubes.
Do we know that? Didn't it just disappear?
No. We know now that it was the pitot tubes. No, the conspiracy theorists need to sit down. The
Yeah.
the pitot tubes were blocked, and they couldn't get the avionics correct. They didn't know whether they were up or down or upside. That was what it was.
He wants to join the ding party. Go for it.
Join the ding party. Ready?
I'll remove my headphones. Go for it.
I'm gonna do it with the brush. You got dinged, bitch.
They remade that story, by the way. I believe it's an Argentinian movie or something. They remade the story of the flight that went down in the Himalayas in the 70s in the snow, and they were 60 days stranded by them. You know, and
I
they
just saw that
eating
new
the dead
one,
passengers. I started watching this the other night on Netflix. I was like, I know this story. Why did they make this again? Because I remember that film that was made, I don't know, 20 years ago, was actually quite a beautiful film. Why do they feel the need to make it again?
Because the millennials don't know about cannibalism other than is Army Hammer in it?
So I got about 20 minutes in. I was like, well, I know this story. Like, why am I watching this all over again? So I stopped.
Listen, I think it's only fair that if you're going to make a movie about cannibals, that you should
Alive
only cast
was the
cannibals.
original. Thank you, Diego. Yeah. Alive was the original.
Should only be allowed to cast cannibals.
I would, if I was stuck in the snow, would you do that? I mean, you don't eat meat anyway, but I'd force you to. I'd be like,
you would eat the meat. You would eat the passenger in 7A well before I do. But you definitely would, because you'd be like, steak.
It's a frozen body. Like their soul is gone, if that's what you're afraid of or whatever. Like you're not hurting them. They're already dead.
I know.
It's beautiful, tender meat. Oh, that sounds terrible.
I mean,
he says with a cow on his coffee cup, on his tea cup.
I mean, tastes like chicken. Is that what they say? Is that what they say? They say it tastes like
Hannibal
chicken.
Lecter says.
Goes nice with a good Chianti and
fava beans.
Fava beans, yeah. Oh boy. Andrew Volkovich says, "Hey, $5 Canadian." Derek, Paul, and Laverne will find a place in Italy near 4 different churches to ring the bells. You ever hear the bells that come out of his window? Oh boy. I won't say what church, but man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, you think it's beautiful. These things terrorize me at this point. If there's a phone call that comes in at 6:55 in the evening, I'm like, I'm not answering. It's got to wait, because once it hits 7, you can't hear yourself think. You know, it's so bad.
How many chimes do you get at 7? Do you get 7 or you get more?
No, because every hour. No, at 7, it's the end of the working day, so they go hell for leather. I mean, they do the 7 chimes, and then they start going bang, bang, bang with a big menu of bells. And they just go ape shit for about 5 minutes straight. It's not so bad in the winter because I can keep, everything closed. But during the summer, when I have the air coming in, I've got to start closing all the windows.
That sounds really extra.
It's very extra. I know, but the bells are so romantic when people visit Italy. But when you live near, and it's impossible to not live near a church in Italy. There's a church anywhere. In many cases, you have a church to your left and to your right. You'll get the stereo cacophony happening. Oh, it's rough.
There's two hilarious things I have to say. And it's Maxi67 says, human meat is known as long pig. That's frightening to me that you know that, but Le Carré wins the award for this one. Oisin would look at the frozen poor people food from economy class and then rather kill someone for the dinner. Wait, who's in first class? Do you have a selection?
Be more tender. They've been raised on better food, so
Right. They're like a goose. They've been stuffed with all delicious butter and cream and all
exactly. They've been eating fine food the whole time. They've been having foie gras their whole life. MH370 pilot was crazy, says Hunter's Angler. It was plotted on his simulator at home. Shit.
I didn't hear that. Is that true?
Is that more conspiracy tinfoil hat stuff, or is that a real thing?
Tinfoil hats. I love how that's the thing now. 370 pilot. I never heard that. I watch all the simulator shows. Let's see. What does he say? Okay, talk amongst yourselves while I do my research.
Well, do you remember the German flight? It was like
Well, German
15
wings,
years
yeah,
ago.
that
German wings.
that
The guy
definitely happened.
he locked the co-pilot went for a piss and came back, and the cockpit door was locked from the inside, and the dude decided to end his life along with everyone else in the plane. What a complete asshole!
Yeah.
If you're gonna kill yourself, just kill yourself. So, yes.
So from 2016, I'll share it because it's in a tab.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't know about this, but if this is true, this is really not cool. Oh boy. Here you go, kids. Ready? Exclusive. MH370 pilot flew a suicide route on his home simulator, closely matching the final flight.
Oh, God.
New York has obtained a confidential document from the Malaysian police investigation into the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 that shows the plane's captain. Oh, I'm thinking of. Oh, this is MH70. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, why was I thinking of the Air France plane from Buenos Aires? I don't know why I was thinking.
Well, you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, I did. I'm confusing the two flights. So he did. This is very interesting. If you look at this, yeah, it looks to me like. Can I blow this up a little bit? I can. That he kind of did a similar thing on his simulator. Oh, that's fucked up.
Yep, that's very fucked up.
Look how far away Australia is from the world. It is crazy.
It's really the other side of the world. It truly is.
And so far down. My God.
Yeah,
that's
like
why
their whole thing down there is so different. Like
Yeah.
they when they take a flight to somewhere nice, they don't have the usual menu that we're familiar with,
Yeah.
at all. We're so out of reach for them,
I remember when I was.
Is there a non-stop flight from like Sydney
Yes.
to New York?
Yes.
There is.
Yeah. There is.
So
It's
how
an
many hours is that?
350, 18 hours, I believe.
18 fucking hours.
I remember
Jesus.
the inaugural flight was Qantas. Qantas, which has a perfect safety record, by the way. Perfect. In all of their
Right.
years of flying. I think they're the only airline in the world with a perfect safety record.
Yes, and that's Rain Man. Remember Dustin Hoffman? He wouldn't fly any other airline than Qantas because they never had even an emergency landing, let alone a crash.
Confession, I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, yeah.
I kind of missed all those mid-cruise. Just there's a whole bunch of his movies that I didn't see until he started doing like the Mission Impossible movies, and I was like, yeah, I like him as an action star, but him as an actor, I don't really enjoy him when he's just, being a regular bloke. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was always confused why Kubrick cast him in Eyes Wide Shut. It's such a cerebral film, and you're right. He's a action star. He's not his eyes don't say a whole lot when he's.
It's not Daniel Day-Lewis. It's not, it's not any of those guys. If you were to pick, I mean, they came as a package. Obviously, him and Nicole. They were married at the time. Obviously, Eyes Wide Shut is a film we both have watched 1,000 times because we're Kubrick fanatics. The film is highly flawed, but I still love it. Everything looks like a set. It's very.
Why is it flawed?
I just think he was at the end of his. I just don't. I think it's. I mean, not. I don't. I'm not gonna say it's too long. I love the party scene. I think that they're not believable as a couple in real life too. I just didn't feel the passion between the two of them. I just feel like, oh no, I don't get it. It just everything looked. I don't know. Like he went out of his way to make everything in space look so perfect in 2001. In this movie, everything looks like a backlot to me. Just looks like the backlot. The street scene's supposed to be. Was it supposed to be?
Well, he had a fear of flying, and he lived in London.
Yeah,
because he was originally in New York, right? Kubrick used to play chess for money in Bryant Park or in or in Washington Square Park or whatever. And then he moved to London. He had a fear of flying, so he wouldn't fly over. So even the New York scenes, there were a set. They made when the guy's following him and he goes into the cafe and he buys the newspaper and so on. That was all a big set. It wasn't New York at all. It's not kind of funny. Then the shots of like crossing the 59th Street Bridge because he's on his way out to Long Island to the famous party. Those are shots that were taken by crew. Like Kubrick wasn't any
B-roll,
just B-roll,
yeah. Oh. The first assistant director did all that shit. Go to New York and take shots of the 59th Street Bridge. Well, like look in The Godfather when they're on the it says to New Jersey.
Yes, to New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sign never existed on that bridge in the history of the world. They were on the 59th Street Bridge. They weren't on the George Washington Bridge.
I thought they were on the George Washington.
I mean, it's the 59th Street Bridge. No.
Okay.
To New Jersey, and I went, that's not true. But we don't talk about that because The Godfather is perfect, isn't it?
It's shitty being from like knowing New York so well, because you see in the movies like they're walking on a certain street, and of course in your head you're going, oh, that's 82nd between Lex and whatever, and then they turn the corner and they're in a totally different part of New York.
Oh, that happens to me every day.
Every day. Yeah. Most people don't know, but like we'll spot it. Hold on, why are they in the West Village all of a sudden? Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, they go through a wormhole. No, you were on 3rd Avenue, and now you're on Park Avenue South. What the? Yeah, I mean
that happened to me when I was watching Casino Royale. At the end of Casino Royale, when they're trying to get the money, and it's some bank here in Venice, and they walk in one way, and then I'm like, that's the coffee's pretty good there, or whatever, and then they turn a corner, all of a sudden they're in a completely different spot, or they just turn the camera around for a new shot, which is something I'm guilty of with the watches all the time. But
but you're not making a movie that depends on continuity. I noticed that too in that movie, and it's funny because when I'm familiar with the city too, I'm obviously if you live somewhere, you're going to see all the things. But New York is such a major city for action films and all these things, and I'm like, oh god, don't they know we're watching?
Oh, they don't care about us. They
don't care.
Everyone else. It's just New York in the background. Easy $5. You guys are the experts. How does on-axis false chords, as they say Freddie Mercury did, trying to visualize it? What do you mean? Is this bad? Is the syntax wrong? Is there a word missing? I can't tell.
I don't know what you mean either.
You guys are the experts. Punctuation. Come on with the punctuation, kids. Okay. How does on-axis false chords? What's that mean? On-axis false chords.
I don't know what that means either. Easy, would you come?
Freddie Mercury.
Explain this, please.
What are you talking about?
At least he didn't spell it Freddy. People do that all the time, and it just gets my goat. Baruch Balsara. Yeah. We're waiting. Easy. We're waiting.
Anyway, so the thing popped off on the 737. Nearly sucked the kid out, right? Yeah. Obviously, all the pressure. We digress all the time. the pressure inside the fuselage, of course, went back to outside pressure, which was 16,000 feet, which is not breathable, really, right?
No.
No one had a heart attack or their ears weren't blown out. Like, what the fuck?
No, they're lucky. If they were at 20, their ears would have blown out.
Right.
But 16 is like it is somewhat breathable. They were lucky, and that pilot just.
And the funny part I heard was that the crew, the staff, they were like, "Okay, what do we do in this case?" And they pulled out the manual, like for the steps to take, like, and the manual got sucked out the window, sucked out the hole.
Isn't it all on iPad now?
I don't. It should be. They pulled out the manual. They're like flicking through it, and the thing goes flying.
Isn't that crazy though? When you think about it, it's like our engines just died. Hold on a second. I mean, isn't that crazy? Now it's all. I remember probably a decade at least ago, when the FAA finally said, "You guys can have everything." And then you remember the pilots with their giant, rollers. They'd have that giant volume in a leather-bound case. It was tradition. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, it's on an iPad Air, mind you. Boom!
Nice and light.
Oh, more cowbell. What we
More
need
cowbell.
here is more cowbell.
More cowbell.
More cowbell. Did you explain yourself yet, Ray Ray? You said Mercury, Freddie Mercury. Come on, tell us. We want to know what that was because we want to answer it because we know everything. Damn
It wasn't Ray Ray. It was someone else. It was an Easy E.
Oh, it was Easy E. Sorry,
It was
Ray.
Easy E. No, don't blame poor El Ray Ray.
Sorry, Ray Ray.
Yeah. So
Easy,
I don't know. I don't know. I just think they should just retire that stupid ass plane and stop trying to give it.
It's going to be worse than that. It's worse than that. The Boeing's stock prices plummeted.
Yes,
because listen, they have had so many problems. We had this trip. The 787 had the battery issue. That took forever. 777 can't get certified. Then they have the Max, too big. They didn't tell everybody about the software upgrade that they needed that they didn't have. This is.
Do you remember that? Yeah, the software was fucked up, and the thing
that was what was
diving.
taking the planes down.
Oh man!
Yeah, you know how in an Airbus. I only know this,
and I blame. I'm sorry,
Go.
but I blame the ticket prices. People going, I'm not going to take that flight because it's $7 more expensive than the other one. Once you're into that shit, like, please stop, because you're just driving. You're driving the standards down. You're forcing airlines' hand, and they have to cut corners, and they have to do all of these things, which is compromising your goddamn safety.
However, yes, but in this particular instance, this is Boeing. This is my gripe. Everybody always bitches about everything's made in China, which is true. We have far too much dependence on cheap child slavery labor that goes on in countries where
again because of prices. Because of prices,
yes.
Yeah.
However,
if it was made in America, it'd be too expensive.
Right. That's the problem, because in America, well, we don't want to do that, and we don't want to do this, and I don't want to sweep the streets, and I don't want to do that. Now, Boeing, one of the last great manufacturing, America doesn't make shit anymore. I mean, Toyota, look at the cars or all this crap.
What's still made in America? Sorry to put a pin in your point. What's still made in the USA? Guitars, right?
Gibson guitars, and they've got big time. Everybody bitches about your brother. Everybody bitches. He said, I'll never, ever, ever buy a new Gibson, because people are spending, like, these Les Pauls come in so many different varieties, kids, if you don't know about guitars. So, like, if you want to get
there's
meth.
You're so right.
And you know what terrible. You get for that? You get an honorary ding.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You guys are funnier than us. You should make your own show.
Meth, because everybody's buying these R9s and R1s, these very high end, the tippity top of the line Les Paul guitars that cost sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, and they're coming with flaws, pickup wiring, problems with the body, blemishes on the finish. If you're spending that kind of money, but no, you can go on AliExpress and buy a counterfeit Gibson Les Paul that's got a better finish than what comes out of Nashville. It's disgraceful. Really? And yes. Oh my God, it's incredible what you can get. I just saw some guy on AliExpress.
That would never be stood for. No one would stand for that in the watch world, because the watch guys, they get their new Rolex and they take out the loop and they find like tiny imperfections.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very hard to find an imperfection on a beautiful watch.
Really,
it would never.
I have one thing to say to you, my friend.
What?
Think about it.
What?
Think about it.
No, just give me the
Didn't
answer.
Didn't you start a whole big thing about quality control?
Yes. Oh, yes. The sharp edges.
Sharp gate.
Yeah. The speedy gate.
Yeah. Speedy gate.
Yeah.
You started that
because that thing was, when it was released, the new Speedy, the 3861 movement, was $7,000. It's gone up now, by the way. Speedies are more expensive than they've ever been in history. Ever. There was a time when you could get a regular Speedmaster, right, with the the 1861 movement, right? For $3,000.
Paul's dad got it on a leather strap for $3,001 about 4 years ago on Amazon.
Those days are gone now. You look around Chrono and you look at other places, they're all in the 4s, 5s, 6s.
Yeah.
The Speedy is just more expensive than it's ever been. That thing was released with $7,000 and it had fucking sharp edges, but not nice sharp, like uncomfortably sharp. I'm like, stop with that shite.
I mean, and that's Swiss, when they're supposed to be, even when they do anal, it's super clean and nice. So America's had this big problem, and it's laziness, and people don't want to do the jobs because we can have all this illegal, you bitch about all the Mexicans coming over the border. They're the ones that do all the shitty jobs for everybody, the sanding and the finishing and all the stuff that Americans don't want to do. Now you got Boeing, one of the last greatest manufacturing companies in the world, and you've got shoddy craftsmanship. Now, this, for everybody who doesn't know what this is, the 737 is a very old airframe. It's been around forever. They've obviously changed it out for this MAX, but it has a section that airlines can option to have it as an emergency exit, or I don't need it. So what they do is it's bolted in so it can't move. And then on the inside of the cabin, they just fashion it like it's a regular window. It's just the aesthetics. You can't tell, but it is a door. Now, when a plane is pressurized, it keep the doors, because of the way it's configured, the doors, there's no way for a passenger to open up a door in flight. It's not possible because of the pressure. But these things, now they're finding that there's no bolts. They're inspecting all these planes now and finding missing bolts during manufacturing.
Come on, man.
Come on is right.
So what made it blow out? Was it the pressure difference on the inside versus the outside that hit it at 18,000 feet or wherever it happened?
A new plane. It's a new plane, and it's had a couple of they've had warning lights going on for the last 2 weeks prior to the incident. They were getting warning lights about pressurization problems in the cockpit, and they were running through their checks, and they're like, can't tell what it is. It was because that thing was loose.
God damn it.
So that thing was telling them, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. And finally, it just blew out. And it blew out probably at 16,000 feet, where the pressurization really does the suck-in job, where that really happens. And it failed. And it's a mechanical failure.
Philip DeFranco was talking about it, right? And he said, listen, it's horrible what everyone went through. Because, of course, everyone on the plane was thinking, I'm going to die, right? For 20 minutes until they got down, But he goes, that is the best possible scenario. Because that could have been super, like, no one died. No. The kid lost his phone and his shirt. But that's it. Like, had that poor little boy been sucked straight out, this would be a very different story. And had the whole thing just turned like really, really bad, if it was a 35,000 feet, it would have been a whole different news headline completely. Like, everyone got home safely, and it's the best possible scenario that happened. But they gotta take more care with this kind of shit. Most people don't look at the equipment when people book a flight. They don't look at the equipment like we do, right? We look at the fucking equipment, right, immediately, because we want to see, the rows of, the seats. We want to know what plane it is, blah blah blah, the nautical range of the plane,
and we call it equipment.
And we call, of course, the flight, the plane, the type of plane, right?
Yeah.
Most people have no idea what they're stepping on. No. They have no idea that. Yeah.
Can you look it up? What's the equipment on tonight's flight? Because she's so.
Shay
inside.
Said that.
Yeah, she goes, is it a Dash 2 or a 300? I'm like,
that's very cool.
Yeah, because she knows.
Cool. Yeah.
Because she also knows that where she's sitting in first or business is going to be configured differently if she's on a 777-300 or a 200, because the 300 is better.
You guys are just, you guys are impossible. You got spoiled, man.
Totally. Listen, it's admitted. I'm not lucky now. So now we're just trying to, like, yesterday I just found out that, because I do all of my, whenever I go to Europe, I used to fly for free on American Airlines and always get first or business. And then I would fly either Alitalia or British Airways. Alitalia is out of business, and I had lots of points on there, lots. So
Right.
then I haven't flown a British Airways connection flight for about 4 years. I had like 70,000 Avios points, and I went in to log in and I couldn't find the password. I finally found it, and they expired.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, you
Had
gotta
I
be
known, I
staying
would have done
inside.
something. Yeah. You have 3 years
Yeah.
to do something, any kind of activity to keep your status. And I blew it. So now I have status on nobody.
So what are you gonna do?
Just start charging shit on a card that gives you points for, like a Chase Sapphire, or have to get a new card. Or Jay has a Barclays card, a British Airways Barclays card that's really great. She just she spends everything on that.
Now, how many of the airlines are doing the bidding thing? Because that's a thing. I've
Not
used it
everybody.
many, many times. I used it on TAP going to
Yeah.
Lisbon from New York, right?
Yeah.
And they, I just bought a regular ticket, and then within an hour, I got an email saying, by the way, if you want to upgrade to first class, you can put in a bid. And I put in the minimum bid plus $10 or $15 or whatever. That way you outbid all the stingy fuckers, right? And I got it, and it was great. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was better than being way down back. And Aer Lingus do it all the time as well.
Yeah, they're the
It
most famous.
always worked for me with Aer Lingus. So if I'm going over to New York, I'll fly and see my ma. I'll fly from here and see my ma in Dublin for a couple of days. Then I'll jump on a flight from, Dublin to New York, and hopefully get that upgrade. So maybe you should think about doing things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
John Playo, $9.99. I just put Jed up a beautiful Seiko SRB-17. Is that the Green Alpinist?
That's the Green Alpinist. Yeah.
For $700 on eBay a couple months ago with box and papers. I haven't seen one for under 900. Wow. You did get lucky. That's beautiful.
You got very lucky. That watch is, the original Sarb, because it doesn't have the Cyclops. The one from my video that I gave to Lydia's mom. Everyone wants that watch now. The newer ones are nice too, but that original one was a hit.
Special.
It was a hit when it was released. It was a hit, and it's still a hit. It's still just an amazing watch. You need the wrist for it though. It's a little small on me, but it's a classic. It's a fucking amazing watch.
Which means everyone can wear it but you. Which means
right.
99% of the people can wear that watch but you.
It's so funny because sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Ken Fresno reversed this. It used to be, if it ain't Boeing, I'm not going, but now if it's a Boeing, I'm not going. Terrible. American pride. Where's the American pride? There isn't any.
So what's made in America apart from meth, Steinway pianos, and certain guitars? What's made in America? Didn't Apple try to make certain Apple products in the USA, or assembled in the USA? It
says assembled in the USA. Now they claim. I used to love when people used to say, I'm like, who's they? Apple claims by 2030 that everything is going to be manufactured in the United States, because they got too much, too many suicides happened at Foxconn, their manufacturing facilities in mainland China. So Apple has claimed, or in particular, the Bean Counter has said, that he plans on making all the manufacturing happen, made, finished, assembled in America by 2030. Let's see if that happens. I just think, the problem is that too many Americans don't have pride. There's too many lazy people here. That post-war America boom, that pride is gone. And it wasn't like jingoistic nationalist bullshit. This was pride of place, pride in, self-pride, priding yourself on the job that you do. How many people do you see in America behind the counter, or at the waiter, the bartender, or the whomever, that have pride? Used to be those guys with the wrench, Mr. Good Wrench, the guy who worked for Ford, the guys in the unions. They loved their jobs, and they took so much pride in the things that they made, because made in America used to mean top quality.
Yes.
It doesn't anymore.
It's such a shame.
It's a shame. But Tobster McDonkey would say it's because there's no fucking Americans left.
Is he in the chat? Oh,
I don't know,
God.
but if he is, I'm goading him. Come on, pal.
Come on,
Get in the
let's do it.
room. Get in the ring. Which, listen, I don't think that's the problem. I think those are the people that are doing the job. You look at Boeing and you see the guys, those guys look like Mr. Goodwrench. Whenever you see the production on a Boeing, it's clean, it's beautiful. They're happy people. They have that bicycle. It's the largest building in the world. There's clouds forming in the ceiling of that building. It's crazy because it's those people look like they have pride, but there's a couple of people in there that are just like, fuck that bolt. I'm not putting that in. It's missing bolts.
Damn it.
I love you, Topster, but you can be my right-wing punching bag for a minute, right?
No, he's cool.
He's cool. He's here. I love it.
He's there.
Hollywood and academia, anti-U.S. Marxist brainwashing for the last 20 years. BLM terrorists, young people programmed to hate the USA. I think Americans do enough job hating the USA.
That's so much he said.
I'm going to have him on my Dirk weekdays one show.
You should.
I want him on the show. Listen, he's smarter than fuck, too. He's a very, very smart guy.
By the way, I was just mentioning, or you were mentioning, wrist size. So I'm putting together my Ireland video, and I meet with Steve McGonigal, right, one of the greatest watchmakers in the world, and he has his Magon watch, which is like this new thing that he's made, and he's big into rugby, and one of his ambassadors is Robbie Henshaw, who's a rugby player in Ireland, right, big fucker. And I put on the watch, okay? I keep saying I've got a big wrist, and Steve started laughing at me, going, "You don't have a fucking big wrist." And I put on his Magon, you'll see it in the video, and it covers my full wrist from north to south, right? The whole way. It's a big watch. It's like it's a tonneau shape. And he goes, "You want to see Robbie Henshaw? I want to show you this guy because, first of all, I think
I just looked him up.
You'll think he's a riot, right?
Yeah, he's a riot. Yeah,
there he is with that's the fucking same watch, right? It looks even small on him, and
he's a rugger, though. I mean,
he's a rugby boy, right? And there's another shot of him here with the watch on. Look at that! Like you couldn't even see strap on my wrist. My wrist is half the size of that dude's wrist.
I mean, it doesn't look, I wouldn't walk past that guy and go, wow, he's got big wrists. You know what they say about big wrists?
If I was standing, if I was standing next to him, do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. You need
because when I first started meeting the rest of the watch community in London for the London Watch Show 2.5 years ago, people didn't know I was a big guy. They didn't like, I was taller and larger than they expected because they can't tell on the screen. So that photo, this guy could be 5'3" or 7'3". You've no idea.
How big is he?
But I don't know. But from the size of the watch, this is Gulliver's Travels happening right here. Because that
he's
fucking
6'3",
watch,
218.
right? That watch covered the watch head covered my entire wrist. There was no strap to be seen. You can see a good 1.5 centimeters of strap on north and south. You know, so certain lads are just bigger than other lads.
He's got unimpressive looking thumbs, though. Gotta say, he doesn't have like the, like you see some guys.
They're like Emmett's thumbs are like that.
Or I don't know.
Emmett has funny looking finger tops. I mean, they fucking work for guitar, man. So,
I mean, you know what? There's nothing worse, and we could talk about this on Monday nights, but there's nothing worse than people who have bad personal deportment. Like I use one of these things. I use one of these things when I trim my nails, and I trim them. I don't have any overhang whatsoever. Zero. I have zero overhang. Okay. Zero. Because there's nothing worse than seeing that milky ring. It looks like you're going to put on some, Michaela would like it because you could put some lovely rings on your fingers. But I make sure that they are filed down and I buff them out, make them look really nice. The hands are the first thing you see on a person. And he's got not well taken care of hands. I know he's a rugby player and they're tougher than nails. However, his hands are very unattractive. Hands are very important.
I can't believe you're saying you telling me you're not into this dude. That is the
I'm not.
dude
Plus, he has
you
no
like.
hair on his arms, and that's really creepy to me.
He does
Eh,
have hair. You can see
I don't
it.
see
It's not.
any. I see a lot of moles, and I have a big mole problem too. I don't like a lot of
I've
moles. No,
I have moles.
I have like a couple of them too, but they're not all over my arm like Adam Driver. He's very moly.
This watch is made by one of the greatest watchmakers in the world, handmade.
Who
This
makes
is
it?
it's
The Magan, right?
Magan. It's
Magan.
Magan. It's
Who's the
McGonigal.
watchmaker?
Stephen McGonigal. He
Oh,
makes.
okay.
I mean, his watches cost $300,000. Not this one. This one's 12 grand. But he's considered one of the greatest, watchmakers on earth. And we went out and had the pints. We got plastered. The two of us got plastered. We went to O'Donoghue's pub, and then we went over to the Shelburne, to that flashy bar in the back of the Shelburne. And
wow.
he's fucking legend. But yeah, I mean, this shit is like top level. And yeah, your man wears it. He's one of those guys who wears it. So sometimes, I have a bigger wrist than, I don't know, Adrian Barker. Sure, yeah. I
I
can't
think the
wear that
average
36.
man's wrist is something like 6.95. I think that's
Is that what it is?
6.75 to 7. That's the average.
I kind of envy it because they have more choice.
You have more choices. Paul's dad has a 9.25. His wrist is the biggest thing. It's like the size of my calf.
He should
It's
be wearing
ridiculous.
Panerai and Panerai only.
I know. Well, he can. He's an Omega enthusiast.
So
he's
he
got
should
the
be
big.
wearing the Planet Ocean.
He has a Planet Ocean. He's got a Speedy. It looks very small, and I'm like, that would look so much better on me. You know that, David.
Yeah.
But he's also got the Planet Ocean, and he's got the Speedmaster, the GoldenEye Speedmaster. That was a Seamaster that all of you, drank the Kool-Aid with.
Which
That
one?
was the watch, the GoldenEye Speedmaster. His is the original quartz one,
Oh,
but
that
red
one,
line, red line though. It's
the
got
300M.
Yeah, the 300M. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I always
great
say,
watch.
yeah, he should get a Pro Prof. That would be great on him. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, Pro Prof. Yeah.
He doesn't like it because it looks a little stupid. I'm like, well, I like it.
Pro Prof is very cool.
Yeah, but I can understand why a guy who likes watches but isn't so super crazy would say that. He says it's just a little too gammy for him, and I'm like, all right. There's a lot of watches. I've been trying to get him into Panerai, and they're so reasonable. They're so reasonable.
They are.
They can be had, kids.
The market's soft for Panerai.
Yeah.
Great watches, big bastards, like big things. Mind you have to be careful. There's the lumen or due. You don't want that. They're beautiful looking, but there's 30 meters of water resistance. Makes no sense for a fucking watch that's supposed to be for the water.
Why does that only have 30 meters? Why?
30 meters because they just went for aesthetic instead of durability
Oh.
and a tool. I mean, Panerai was the original, or one of the original tool watches. They were
for the
pocket
frogmen.
watches. Yeah, for the frogmen. They were pocket watches put inside a case on a fucking strap, a makeshift wire lug and everything, just to put them on their wrist. It's classic tool watch shit. Why would they change to a fashion kind of thing? Don't do that.
That's silly.
Yeah.
No, sorry about that. I wanted to get Travis's. Travis Watts says he has a 7-inch wrist and can pull off both large and small. I have a 725 and I can't wear certain watches. So then he also says right up there, he tried a 44 Panerai. Dude, I tried a 44 Panerai and it didn't look good on my wrist. I'm very
why the Panerai will work on him? Because the lugs are in many cases non-existent. When the lugs are really, hey, even with this thing, like the lugs, they taper down real quick. So you get a nice, with Panerai, the watch can cover the whole wrist, and then there's no extra lug problem. That the strap just goes straight down. There's a Panerai around here somewhere. Where the fuck is the
Pull
thing?
that Panerai out.
I'll get it in a minute. So it comes straight down on the wrist, so it just works. The lugs can create an issue. If you have big, long, straight lugs flying out over your wrist, then that can be a problem.
Right. We have a lot of Paneristi in the rooms. A lot of Panerai. 422, 372.
Let me go get that thing.
796, 196. And Sam Led Consulting says, y'all saw my wrist on Dirk's weekday last week. We all did. Everyone has seen your wrist now, Sam. Everyone. Too late. I've seen it all. What show is that from? It was too late. I'd seen it all. I'm doing the impression too. Is there any nudity? Come on. It's one of the greatest shows ever made in the history of comedy. In the history of comedy. Well, you see, I'm riding my bicycle through the park, and this police officer lady approaches me, and she says, "You can't ride on the grass." And he says, just at that moment, I'm staring at her with my special powers, and all of her clothes fall completely off. But it's too late. I've seen it all. And then I rode away on the grass. I gave you the whole monologue. Who is it? Who's the actor? What's the show? Nobody knows. Shane McGee is in the room. Haven't seen you in a while, kiddo. It's the shape of the wrist. Yeah, I have like a kind of a flat. It's not like some people have a flatter wrist. But I don't. This is like, so this is, this is a 40 millimeter watch. And I only had to take one link out. Well, Shane did it. He pre-sized me because he knows what my wrist size is. But yeah, like David has to buy extra links. My father-in-law has to buy extra links because his wrist is too big. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, the answer to the question is it's Patrick Stewart on Extras, Ricky Gervais's great show.
On the grass.
On the grass.
By the way, I just seen as I was up, I got my little UV light, so I'll show you the Zero West Lume.
Do it.
It's very cool. Can you get rid of that chat there?
Yeah, sorry.
Look at this big
yeah, fire. I mean, that's monstrous. Wow.
And beautiful. It was a great watch.
What's the price point on a thing like that?
It's too high for a lot of people because it doesn't have in-house. It's got the Sellita S200, okay. but the top of the range, because they have like 4 ranges, like they have their premium, and then so they spend the extra money and they get the best ones. But this has a piece of ED825, one of the dam busting Lancasters, in the back of the watch. That piece of metal was part of the dam busters mission. I'm never, ever, ever selling this ever. My whole life. That's like crazy history right there. Here's the Palm. This is the Venti, the 2020. I'll stick it on.
And then lume the shit out of that thing.
I'll lume the shit out of it.
Because that's the best lume in the business.
Some of it, yeah. I mean, hey, there's a lot of lume out there. But yeah, shit. Yeah, this is good.
That's because the whole look at that. Come on. That's crazy. I mean, it's because the whole disc got lit up because there's a whole luminescent disc underneath that sandwich style.
It's crazy.
That's not believable.
But you see the way there's no lug really to speak of.
Oh yeah,
wire lugs.
Yeah.
And
that's a 44 right there.
This one's a 45, but they wear smaller. It's like the Ploprof because of the lug thing. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, that looks really good.
Yeah, it looks good, right? Yeah.
Easy says that's radioactive. By the way, Easy, you never explained what that super chat was about, and it's still bothering me. Can you write that sentence back, but in English? Thank you.
This one isn't radioactive.
No, obviously not.
Yeah, it's not radium or.
This is what the radium girls did, right? Back in the day, they went like this.
That's exactly what they did. The poor things.
Then dead. I watched the show. It was not a good movie, Radium Girls. It was horribly made, and it was corny, and it could have been such a great movie. It's a great story, and it was just felt Downton Abbey-ish. It felt
their jaws started falling off, right?
Yeah, their jaw, their bone cancer, they just fall apart. Crazy. Radium.
16,000 year half-life.
That is not even funny.
I mean, versus tritium, which is what, 12 year, 16,000 years.
Yeah,
it's not plutonium 242 or anything, but it's
no.
Still pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, we love them big watches. Or at
I'd
least
love them. I just can't wear them. I even if they look okay, people go, "That's fine." I just don't. Anything over 42, I'm just not going to wear because I don't feel comfortable in it. I just don't. I don't want to look like one of those little Asian guys who have the big clocks on their wrists.
It's
Yeah,
one of
it's
the
just
reasons Italians don't wear these things, is because they're too big for the Italian wrist in many cases. You need to be a big fucker.
that's because you need to go to Southern Italy where the boys are bigger down there.
Yeah, the big fellas, yeah.
All the big Italians with the big hairy wrists are all
Where
down
they
in
don't drink
Italy.
alcohol, they just eat sweets.
Oh, they
That was
drink
the funniest
alcohol,
thing.
don't they?
It was so funny. We went to Sicily. We went to Taormina, myself and the doctor, and it came to 5:30. Spritz time. Let's go. 5:30, 6 p.m. So we go into the town, and people are congregating. They are. People are
But for
coming
ice
out.
cream.
But for ice cream and cannoli and shit and coffee,
Yeah.
we're the only ones ordering a spritz aperol. Or like, oh
Wow.
shit, we're the alcoholics here. Yeah, they're not.
It's a different culture
Not
completely.
big drinkers down there. It's weird.
No one's wearing fashionable trousers either. They're all
Mm.
wearing track suits and they're all a little fat. You want to see fat Italians? They're all down there.
Yeah.
They're sloppy looking. There's no fashion going on.
One thing they do down there as well, they wear the tight shirt, and it might be like pink, and then they have the jelly rolls coming out. It's too tight. It fits nicely up here, but then they have the jelly rolls, and you can see they're don't do that. It's not the fashionista part of Italy. That's Milano.
That's
or
just
Florence.
having a great
Florence.
body image. Because,
Yeah.
I won't wear white if I'm 10 pounds overweight. I won't because I feel too self-conscious. I see
Better
guys
answer
walking
this
around
guy. This
taking their
guy's
shirts off,
molested.
being fat.
He's being molested. Sorry. Best Toscani is the Antico. That's what I smoke. He'll keep asking if I don't fucking answer now. I wouldn't be rude normally, but you know the history of Andy and that little game he played on me. That's the fella. So sorry. Go ahead.
I don't
What
know
were you
where I
saying?
was. Yeah, I'm just amazed by people who wear white shirts or super tight clothes when they shouldn't be. We talk about on Watch Fashion Police. I'm a 42
Right.
regular. If I gain 10 to 15 pounds, I can't wear the jackets because then they don't fit right. You have to wear like guys who just wear t-shirts and they have the big fat belly. We toured with roadies, so we know what guys who wear way too short shirts
Yeah,
are.
they're
All
still
the
wearing
roadies.
the T-shirt from the 1970s tour.
Yeah,
They
they
were
still have
on,
and
now they have an extra
fog
30
hat.
pounds of them, right?
They're wearing all the shirts that they got in 1978 through 1985, and now they're 50 pounds overweight.
Right.
You
Why are roadies always overweight? All of
because
those stage manager guys that were always big, heavy set fellas.
in the immortal words of the incredible late great Todd Confessori, T-Boy, to everybody who knew him, he'd say, sweet stuff, fat stuff, crunchy stuff, something with cheese on it, spring water. That was his motto. Fat stuff, sweet stuff, fat stuff, crunchy stuff, something with cheese on it, spring water. That's what he'd come into the room off the bus after the crew would load out. He'd go, hey, sweet stuff, fat stuff, crunchy stuff, something with cheese on it, spring water. And he was very overweight because he was a glutton. These guys are working hard all day long, and then they just eat all the
They're
catering,
the hardest workers on earth.
Oh, on earth.
They're so hardworking. It's
They're
amazing.
And he did all the blow, and he slept with all the castaway girls.
All the girls who want to get to the band.
Right. He was the,
there is an art to that.
Permeable.
Getting the blowjob to get to the band kind of thing. Yeah.
But he would constantly be eating snowballs, hostess snowballs, ring dings, all the junk
stuff in their face. Jim, get Michaela in here. Yeah, you wish, man.
But
everyone's going nuts about Michaela now.
Well, she's a star.
She's men are falling in love.
As are the Democrats.
As are the Democrats. Anyway, you've been to Naples, says Alve. No, I have not been to
I
Naples.
haven't either.
A friend of mine here, he works in a Hard Rock Cafe here, and he's from Naples. He's a bass player as well. We all talk about bass guitars constantly when I'm over there having a cheeseburger. And he said, I go down there all the time to see my family. So next time, if you're going down there, I'll come with you. Because I had expressed, an interest in going down and making a video, an episode, and trying the real pizza and all of that. And he says to me, he goes, just don't wear one of your nice watches. I was like, okay, I'll wear a swatch or something, a moon swatch.
Yeah,
He goes,
wear the moon swatch.
Yeah, I'll wear, yeah. I have a few of those moon swatches at this point.
You do, right? Which ones do you have?
I have the Saturn, the Jupiter, the Mercury, the really nice one, and I have the light pink one, and the
Venus.
Is that Venus?
Yeah.
And then the light blue one, but Lydia stole the
Uranus.
blue one. Uranus.
Yeah.
Lydia stole that.
Yeah. Valve said all the Elena Ferrante novels got him interested in Naples. I've tried to turn so many people on to My Brilliant Friend, and I forget the name of the second one that I just watched with Valeria Golino. That's there was one of the best shows ever. It was on HBO, and I think it was an ITV. Or was it Rai? Sorry, it was a collaboration. It's about these two girls in the 50s, and they grow up. One's very light skinned, blue eyes, and the other one's kind of more Neapolitan looking, but they're both brilliant. Did you watch those, Oisin? Did you get to watch that yet?
No.
It's a brilliant show. It's called My Brilliant Friend. I think in Italian, the translation,
you mentioned it to me before.
It's called L'Amica Brillante or something like that. It's not a literal translation, but it's something. And it's Elena Ferrante. It's a 4 seasons, and it was just the greatest thing ever. There's one more season coming up, and it's just not ready yet because the pandemic fucked everything up. But great show. It's all set there.
Sam, I don't hate the moon swatch. I actually don't. I hated the hysteria and everything that happened. I don't hate the moon swatch. Actually, I made 2 pretty impressive videos, if I say so myself, about the moon swatch, because it's not really about the watch. It's about the planet that the watch is about, which I find is very attractive to me. It's beautiful that they made a Jupiter with the colors from that planet, because I love all of that stuff. I love astronomy. I love, I'm into the space thing, as is Dirk. And, it's very romantic to model watches after our neighbors here in the solar system. It's a beautiful thing. So I don't hate the moon swatch. No, it fits really well. It's modeled on one of the greatest watch shapes in history, maybe the greatest. So it looks great, of course. Yeah. And so I don't hate it. Shit, I'm not interested in that new 50 fathoms thing they made. I don't even look in the window when I pass the Blancpain.
Yeah, that's just, and it's expensive, right? It's not.
Yeah, because it's like a wind up movement. It's like a real movement.
It's a real movement in there.
Yeah, it's like 400.
Battery.
Yeah.
I think it worked really well. I don't think it's going to work again. I think if they went back and did, maybe dwarf planets, I don't know, but because it just makes Swatch look bad, because everybody knows that Swatch owns Omega, but they own so many other brands. So they're trying to think that Omega's a huge brand. They didn't really need that push, even though it was the biggest thing in watch news and forever. Yes. They're not gonna turn Breguet into or whomever else they decide to do a collab with, Blancpain. People are like, they're gonna be like, what's the blank pain? I don't get what's the blank pain. Blank pain? What is that? They don't even know. It's fucking white bread, kids. It's a terrible name for a watch. White bread.
If everyone said it, I said it, everyone else said it, and watch YouTube. If Omega made those, Speedmasters, the Jupiter, the Saturn,
oh my god,
actual Speedmasters for 7,500. Oh Jesus, that's the end of me. I'll be homeless. I'll spend all my money. Take my money, please, because I'll want the entire thing
And
and spend
Mercury will
100
just
grand.
be a Moonwatch will just be Mercury or the Moonwatch. They won't even have to fix one. Imagine
Right.
if they made those. I never even thought about that. That concept has never even been in my brain. Wow,
What
that would
com-
be the
what
concept
of
of
Omega
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 making
Dune?
them. Holy crap, what a great idea that is.
That's what everyone said at the beginning. It's like, listen, this is an interesting idea. It's a shame it's Swatch. If it was Omega, hold. And listen, Omega don't hold back. They've made so many different versions of their Speedmaster, the fucking gray side of the moon, the dark side of the moon, the lights, the fucking arsehole of the moon, right? They keep making different versions of the moon swatch or the moon watch. 44 mil, the racing, the Schumacher, I mean, how many different iterations? It's not like it's not their thing to do
It
this.
is their thing.
Why don't they make a fucking case for 150,000 of the entire range in real fucking Speedmasters? That'd be the end of my life. I'd sell everything.
It could be numbered.
Yeah.
The number of the planet, where it's positioned in the solar system, plus its longitude. That could come up with some cool. It's whatever the longitude is. No, where's the longitude in space? But they could put coordinates in there. They could be so creative. What a great idea! I think we need to get Reynold on the phone right now. Reynold, are you watching this?
Well, you're already on email basis with this fucker. Not Reynolds, but no, the head of Swatch. Not Reynolds. The head of Swatch didn't he
yeah,
email? Yeah.
he did. Hassan, what is his name? He's got a Iranian name, right? He's Iranian.
Yeah, then you email him my video.
Nicholas Hayud, or right? Nicholas. Forget his name.
He emailed you back about my video, right? So
Yes, he did.
yeah. I don't know. I'd be into it. I'd be so into that.
Let me see if I can.
No, the head of Swatch Group.
Nicholas.
Your names, dude, you definitely have an issue with names now. That's really fucked up. Hayek.
Yeah, it's Nicholas Hayek. Why are you saying no? I was saying Nicholas.
I said
Nicholas
no.
Hayed.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that you're forgetting names. We're like an old couple now bickering at each other.
ICHOMAS.
I'd be so into that. And I said it in my Saturn video. I was like, maybe there's something primal happening, because the frenzy was nuts. I mean, we'll never forget that frenzy. Tens of thousands of people outside the Swatch store. Swatch stores closing down, saying we're not selling anything today. The police on the scene. Like, this happened all around the world. It's fucking nuts.
It was huge.
And I mean, I was trying to say, like, maybe there's a celestial connection going on, that for thousands of years there's the fucking email. Be careful now not to dox your shit, man.
They already know my email address, don't they?
Okay, I just don't are there other things in there? Okay.
No.
So this is from Nick Hayek.
Dear Mr. Kennedy, wow, thank you very much for sharing this very inspiring and brilliant video with me, which I have not seen so far, to be honest. The zoom to the planets and the tribute to Omega and Swatch evoke very powerful emotions. Gooseflesh, feeling pure. Very well done. Thank you and all the best. Nick Hayek. That's the president of Swatch, motherfuckers.
Holy shit.
I've been seen.
I was like shocked. I was in Milan when you sent me that. You're like, oh, you've got mail, dude.
But I'm bummed.
Yeah, I was like, shit, he watched my video. Holy shit. But he really watched it, because he mentioned like the zoom. Let me find that video.
I really watched it. I'll be right back. Do you think?
Yeah.
You go find that and I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll do that. This was an interesting video as well, because it was the first time that I shot truly at night. I was able to do decent shots at night. These are the daytime shots, but I used an 85 mil lens that had a 1.2 stop, and I was able to get these like dark fucking nighttime shots. It was all about the shadows. Shadows is the theme. I'm going to talk about this maybe on Friday in more detail. But it's very moody, and look at that. I mean, I was just so happy to get that shot, because you take that with a regular lens, it's going to be all fuzzy and horrible. It was interesting shooting a video starting at 10 p.m., and finishing at 2 a.m. It's like I've got to leave the house at 10 p.m. to go shoot. And some sick ass fucking late night shots in here. I was really proud of it. And there's abysmal views. Like the views on this video are just beyond bad. Like it's incredible. But yeah, it was all about get to the point, O'Malley. The point here is there's a certain moment where I talk about what it really means. I don't know if you guys can hear this. We've been idolizing the shapes in the night sky for thousands of years. Can you guys hear that? Tell me, modern version yes or no, thing. If you can hear that. Reigniting an old instinct. The desire to worship the ancient structures above us. You see, we're idolizing because, for millennia, we've been staring up at the night sky, like the ancient Egyptians and so on, staring up at the night sky. And we're descendants of these people from millennia ago, okay?
And we're
it's
made
thanks
of
to them.
stars.
It's thanks to them having sex that we're all here today, okay? Let's make it real simple, okay? And I thought maybe what happened with the moon swatch was something they didn't even know was going to happen. They touched a nerve inside us that goes back thousands of years. That the moon swatch, even by accident, has tickled something in our genetic makeup. And all the inspiration that comes with that. Every day we forget the planets are there. That's Saturn. Because they just look like stars. All you need to do is look a little closer. This is the bit that Nick Hayek liked. That's fucking Saturn. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, is it maybe the case that we all went something in our background, in our makeup, somewhere inside our DNA went, you know, shit, like the planets. Like, why didn't anyone make a dedicated planets series of watches until now?
It was a
You
master
know?
stroke. Really was.
Yeah, I'm not sure they knew what they were
No,
they were
they didn't
doing.
know. They didn't know. I think this was just a cool thing. This Swatch wanted to elevate a little bit of itself and, stir the pot around. And I think it just turns into a whole amazing thing. And therefore, created a whole new thing. Now they've got this whole other thing going on with Blancpain, but I don't think it's working as well because it's not as inspiring. Because who gives a shit about white bread? We care about the planets.
About white bread. That's brilliant. Who gives a shit about white bread?
Who gives a shit about white bread? I mean,
It's the 50 fathoms shit, but yeah,
but
it's
still,
never gonna inspire you the same way.
that's
Because
Saturn.
people have a favorite planet. What's your favorite planet? What's your favorite planet?
It changes. I love them all. Can I say I love them equally? I do. I think,
Because mine was always Jupiter is my favorite
well,
planet.
Jupiter is the governor, I mean, Jupiter's,
Not because it's the biggest, it's just
well,
to
because
me,
it's the biggest, its influence on the entire solar system is
it was
indelible.
probably Kubrick. It was probably the whole, the 2001 thing, and
What's your
when
birth planet?
I don't know.
How do you
I
not?
don't know.
Mine's Mercury.
I don't know what my birth planet is. How do
I'll look
you
it up.
find out?
I'll look it up right now.
Okay.
Hold on.
Don't give away my birth date.
I'm typing this in a
Okay.
separate window.
Okay. Because people, they want to hack my shit constantly. And it'll just make it easier for them. Meanwhile, I never give my real birth date on any sites, as you never should. It's probably Mars because I'm such a pugnacious asshole, right? I always want to go to war with everyone. So it's probably Mars.
You'll never believe this.
Okay. So you know my birthday, right? And the year and everything.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Your planet is Earth.
What?
He's disappointed.
I'm fucking disappointed.
Earth. Let me check another site. Make sure.
Cool.
Let me make sure.
Why is Earth like? Oh, yes, I'm a Virgo, Sam led. I'm a Virgo. You can tell I'm a Virgo from mud, so I am the most Virgo person I ever met.
Hold on. It was. I can't tell that. I'm not going to say what that was. I would have given it away.
I was in Rome years ago, and there
wait
was
a second.
What?
This one says, your zodiac element is Earth, and your ruling planet is, ready for this, Mercury.
Oh shit! Look at that.
My planet is Mercury.
What does that mean? Does that mean anything? I don't know.
It means you're ruled by whatever the astrological governing conspiracy theories and all that hoo-ha from way back when. That's what rules it's the planet that rules your everything.
So let me tell you something about astrology, right? I think it's all bullshit, right? But because I'm too scientific. But I was at a Chagall exhibition years ago in Rome, and apparently he did a whole series of paintings for each astronomical sign with descriptions, and they had one on display, and it was Virgo. And I looked at it was 12 paintings of the inner workings of a Virgo's mind, and I was blush red. It was embarrassing. I walked out of there feeling naked.
Wow.
Like I just read things about myself that only I know. That even my mother doesn't know about me. Was written on this wall, on this display. I walked out of there like feeling very vulnerable. I was like, I never gave a shit about astrology until this moment. Because that fucker wrote shit. I was like, oh, no way. Do you know that? It was really, really scary.
I always wonder if that's like cold reading with cards, like because I read I am the perfect Gemini. I mean, everything about Geminis, I am all of those things. So I wonder how,
You're
you know,
two
if there's
people,
any.
right?
Yeah, it's two people, and I
You're two
definitely am.
twin. You're twins, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely two people. Mr. Bad Gas, $4.99. That gets a big ding a ring, a ding, a ding, a ding. Breaking news: a Sheen contacted to produce videos for the new Omega Speedmaster line. Well, Nick Hayek knows exactly who he is. So, in a world, maybe
Well,
the new Speedmaster Planets line.
I
You
was
heard it
supposed to
here
make a
first.
video for every single one, but the views were so bad. I made Uranus, which is also a good video, if I don't say so myself. And just the views were just beyond bad. I mean, they were like worse than a fucking live stream. And I just gave up then. I was like, well, if no one's going to watch the damn things, why should I? And Lydia was like, you should still make them. You should still make them. It doesn't matter if anyone watches them, you should still make them. I'm like, I mean, the amount of work that goes into them, I'm like, I don't need them to be 100,000 views or anything, but Jesus Christ, at least 10,000 views, for crying out loud, you know? So I gave up.
See, I would agree with that. I mean, I think it's depressing that people didn't watch it because they're beautiful. They just want to see.
That's one of my
And I'm
best
not trying to
videos.
insult anybody here.
That's one of my
Yeah.
best videos I ever made. And, you know, I mean, the whole new lens and everything used for the nighttime shots because of the shadow. Because the most fascinating thing about this, about Saturn, isn't just the rings, it's the shadow that's cast. It's the biggest shadow. It's the biggest shadow in our solar system, right?
Sure.
Like the Empire State casts a huge shadow, and you know K2, and you know there are the huge shadows on this Earth, but that shadow is the biggest one. That when the sun catches Saturn over the rings.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, there was once they say that Earth had rings a very long time ago. Yeah,
and it will have
most
them
planets.
again, perhaps.
Right.
You know, because
And
we have it now. It's called satellites.
yeah, eventually there'll be so many dead satellites going around. There'll be a
I mean, there's
fucking
already
ring.
so many dead satellites. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, we just think of the beautiful Earth, but if you watch Wall-E, that's what the Earth's going to look like, which is one of the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wall-E,
incredible masterpiece.
Hey, Topster likes the DB1 video. I'm wearing the watch, man. Do you have one of these? I don't think you can buy these anymore. I think they were sold out. DB1, maybe they weren't. I don't know. If you were into that story, man, you should totally get your hands on one of these watches, because in 10 years, these things will be fucking priceless because of what's in the back of the watch.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Have we run out of things to say?
I think we have. We're 2 hours in.
Fair enough. That's our Wednesday show. Here's our eye bashers.
Classic bashers just came and went. Were you there? Topster was here. Eddie was here. Sam Led Consulting was here. Andrew was here, of course. Eddie, who else? Andrew, we said that already. Eddie, who else? Bodo Jackson. You know what? It's got 228 people in the room. So, you know what? People hung in there. Thank you for that.
Very cool.
And it was a kinder, gentler eye bashers tonight. We didn't talk about anything.
Whores.
We didn't talk about whores or cunts or the male equivalent. What is the male equivalent of that? I only call men that. I never call women that because it's just not cool.
Whores? What?
Cunts? No, the C word.
The C word?
I always call men that. I go, he's a cunt. I never say that about ladies ever because it's just not right.
Yeah, it's not right. Ray. Dyslexic guy walks into a bra. That's good. I like that.
Good. That's a good way to knock it out of the park.
Topster was about to buy the Blackout. The Blackouts are very cool because they had to operate in the dark. So the Blackout is even more. It's closer to the story. You know, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, they're probably still available. I don't know.
They might be. Didn't they sell out? I thought they sold out.
Let me check.
I think they sold out. Blackout.
They don't use me anymore, Zero West, for their promotion. They've moved over to Mad Watch Collector. You know, the Russell guy. He's cool. It's like very eccentric stuff. But yeah.
Well,
I think I was too much for them. They were like, oh, this guy is fucking nuts. So
you're too controversial.
Yeah. There it is. That's the blackout right there.
Blackout. Blackout. Yeah.
This is the other one. Let me see what they have. There it is. There's the DB1 still available.
Beautiful. All right. Ooh, pricey.
3,500 in euros. Yeah.
A lot of watch, though. I mean, it's just not a big name, but it's a lot of watch.
And there's the blackout. Same
Blackout.
money, and they have the altitude.
That's
60
cool.
feet. Yeah.
That's cool. That really works.
No, that thing doesn't spin.
Oh no! Is it just there to look cool?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
I know. That was my first criticism. I was like,
that thing should be on there.
Functioning. Yeah, you can't do that. It's just for us. We want that to move. That has to be like a compass or something. Yeah.
No, that has to tell you what your altitude is, motherfuckers. That's terrible. Oh, I don't like that. That's no.
Oh, don't shit on Zero West right
I'm
here.
not shitting on them. Can I just say how utterly disappointed I am? Oh, I was like, oh my God, they've got an altimeter on there. That's amazing.
There are other reasons why the watch is amazing.
I know it's aesthetic and it looks good. It does look cool. It's a very beautiful watch. What's the size on that thing?
That is the dial. It's 44 mil. That is the dial. They have a smaller one now, actually. That's what Russell was talking about. That's the dial from the Lancaster. You know, that's their altimeter from the Lancaster. The same fonts, the same aesthetic, the whole thing.
Okay.
There's a new one now. They made a smaller one. This one, yeah, the DB8T Lancaster. Now that's sold out. They made a 40 mil, I think, or 41 mil.
Oh,
you can tell the dial looks so much more substantial.
Deeper too. It's very deep.
This one's deeper. It should be more shallow, actually. That dial should be more shallow because I met with Graham about a year ago here in Venice, and he was talking about getting the dials to be more shallow. But the watch itself is the same thing, but a little smaller. But yeah, 60 feet again, because they had to fly the Lancaster 60 feet over the water in order for the bomb to bounce.
The bomb to bounce, yeah.
Otherwise it'll just drop into the sea. They need to get it down low.
Yeah.
You know, same as like skimming stones in the water. You got to get down low. You know, you can't just.
It's a beautiful piece. It is beautiful. Aesthetically, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful piece. I love that. Love the second hand.
But that one's sold out now. That's done. The reason why they're sold out is because, of course, they only have so much metal from the original
so that's
aircraft. So that's it. It's probably like 100 pieces or 50 pieces or something.
Well, they could get a bunch of them from the 737 Maxes, right?
Jesus Christ. They could dedicate a watch to that. All right.
Actually, they were carbon fiber. Anyway. But
thanks, Shane. Thanks for the $6, man.
Oh, did I not do that? Bang. Nice job, lads. Nice job to you, Shane McGee. Thank you, kiddos. Thanks, everybody.
Let me give one last shot of this. Why not? I rarely speak about the lads other than these videos. The big videos that I do. Nice big hunk of steel.
It's beautiful. It is a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Panerai. I did. I thought it was a Panerai. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, sexy. Why is Loom sexy? Why is Loom? Like,
I know.
Why is it? Why is Loom like, ooh. Why does that do it for me? I don't know.
I said it to the lads as well. I was like, Loom sells watches. You know, once you make a video and you put a Loom shot in, sold.
It's the Loom shot.
Because they're toys. It's like a lightsaber or something. It's toys for men, you know, men with money. Toys for grown-ups.
I had a toy by Ideal when I was a kid. It was called Moonbase, and it was a lunar lander. And it had like a pulley and an astronaut and a car, and everything on it was loomed. And I was the shit. And it wasn't really my toy. It was in my grandmother's house, and it was in her front bedroom, which was a guest room. And when we went to her house, we were allowed to play with it.
And how did you loom it up?
It was it
Sunlight?
had loom. Yes, it was, all the plastic was made out of this this luminescent material. So if you shined any kind of thing, any kind of light on it, it would glow in the dark. It was very cool. Glow in the dark. Was big
Loom
ones.
is like watch lingerie. Oh yes, please.
Oh yeah, please don't take it off. Don't take it off. Keep that on. Keep that on. Yeah.
They should loom up watches like in regular stores like Longines and Omega. They should have a little UV light and just loom the fucker up when people try on the watch.
How about have a
dim the lights? They'd sell more watches.
The loom room.
Yeah, loom room is a great idea.
You heard it first, by the way. I just trademarked that, so don't try it. I just
loom room.
I'm like Gene Simmons. I just trademarked loom room. It's like the money bag. I own it. He trademarked the money bag.
See you next week, man. Same time.
See you next week. Same bash time.
You're on tomorrow, though. You're on tomorrow.
I'm on tomorrow night. Right? Tomorrow night,
okay,
and
guys, tune in.
And a local quiche giveaway. Local. Don't do this to me.
By the way, did I tell you that I figured out why the full audience is not coming over when I send them over from my other stream? They need
definitive reason.
They need autoplay on. So, guys, if you're watching on YouTube right now, move your mouse over to the screen. What you're seeing right now, okay? Let me do full screen here. So what you're seeing, if you move the mouse over, you'll see the playhead where you can drag the playhead. Over here on the right, around here, you have autoplay. It's a little slider. And now, it makes the next video autoplay. If you don't have that on, you won't be passed over to the next stream. That's the reason why only 200 people out of 800 or 1,000 or whatever were coming over.
So you're sending 200 people over to Timmy right now?
You know what? I should send that right now.
Aren't you doing
absolutely that? Right. Yeah, I should be doing that. Stupid boy.
One moment, please. Dun, 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 dun,
this is the background music. What's your favorite background music when you're on hold?
I like classical music. I can't stand when they have like that. The other day, I was called Dwayne Reed from my neighbor Rose because her medication came in, and it was like, I was like, why would anybody want to listen to that? Why listen to it in their cars with that? Oh God.
Timmy's not live right now, so
Timmy's not live.
No, he's in Miami right now. He's doing his Miami thing.
Well, next
so
time,
he's not. So he missed out.
Let's see how many people I get on Friday.
I'm gonna tell everyone turn autoplay on, and then we'll see. I'm just freaked out by that. I want to see how many get sent over, and there is no information about a capping on it, which is what
I looked it up too. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's autoplay. It's an autoplay thing. Anyhow, dude, we'll see you next week. That was a good.
See you next week. It was fun.